Hey there, everyone. It's GG Sober Son. July 18th, AA Thought for the Day from the 24 Hours a Day book. Two things can spoil group unity: gossip and criticism. To avoid these divisive things, we must realize that we're all in the same boat. We're like a group of people in a lifeboat after the steamer has sunk. If we're going to be saved, we've got to pull together. It's a matter of life or death for us. Gossip and criticism are sure ways of disrupting any AA group. We're all in AA to keep sober ourselves and to help each other to keep sober. And neither gossip nor criticism helps anyone to stay sober. Am I often guilty of gossip or criticism? Meditation for the day. We should try to be grateful for all the blessings we have received and which we do not deserve. Gratitude to God for all His blessings will make us humble. Remember that we could do little by ourselves, and now we must rely largely on God's grace in helping ourselves and others. People do not care People do not care much for those who are smug and self-satisfied, or those who gossip and criticize. But people are impressed by true humility. I definitely am. So we should try to walk humbly at all times. Gratitude to God and true humility are what make us effective. That's for sure. I think that was a topic at my Sunday meeting. Humility. And I think it's because of the 7th month, where when in line with the 7th step, which states, humbly ask Him to remove our shortcomings. And it's tends to line up like that. But humility is, I think it's hard to criticize others when you're truly humble, and people like it. The one sentence, but people are impressed by true humility. And I think about sports figures and whatnot that when they're asked about their awesome play on the field or the court or whatever, and if they're on a team, they talk about their teammates and how the support they got from their teammates or something like that. And if it's an individual sport like tennis or something like that, they just talk about, they don't go, yeah, I kicked butt, right? I was awesome. That just sounds really stupid and shallow. But those who give gratitude, like, yeah, I'm really grateful that, my coach, or, my parents, I'm grateful for my parents for giving me the opportunity so early on in life, or something along those lines. And I always think of, and I may have shared about this before, but I watched this, documentary about Barry Sanders, and he was one of the most amazing running backs of all time, and he would just pull off this amazing run, just dodging much larger guys left, right, and center, and then he would get into the end zone, and rather than spiking the ball, like driving it or spinning it and dancing around like a crazy loon, he would humbly hand the ball to the referee. And I don't know why, but it just caught me right in the throat, man. And it made me weep, just that act of humility. One of the greatest athletes in the world at the time, for sure, took the time to do, really, as we say in AA, the next right thing. You don't want to make somebody else's job harder. They got to go chase down the ball. And, yes, it doesn't necessarily make for great television, but it did for me, because I was watching for that every time. I think so anyway, and the guy he didn't end up winning any Super Bowls or whatever. I don't even know if he ended up being on a winning team, but he retired well before his time. And I thought that was amazing. Just amazing. An amazing amount of humility. And even right now, there's a WNBA rookie who, Caitlin Clark, who, she's a phenom on the basketball court, and she's very aggressive and, has an amazing desire to win, but during interviews, she's constantly deferring to her teammates and generally seems almost shy and coy in interviews. But she doesn't sort of talk about, oh yeah, that was a sweet shot, wasn't it? So we all appreciate humility more than we generally care to admit, unless we're haters. Prayer for the day. Whoop. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may walk humbly with God. I pray that I may rely on His grace to carry me through. Amen. But for the grace of God, there go I. And that's no matter what somebody else is doing, it's good to recognize that in all humility, that wherever we are there by the grace of God. If we feel like criticizing somebody for their choices in life or their inability to stay sober, it's always a good idea to say, but for the grace of God, there go I. And AA has taught me that. I'm grateful for that. Thanks for letting me share. Keep coming back. Look up. Aim up. Rise up. Love you.